This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and today we're taking a look at the Samsung Focus S, one of the latest Windows Phone 7.5 Mango devices available on AT&T. This joins the Samsung Focus Flash, which is a smaller and less expensive phone, and the HTC Titan, which is a titanic 4.7 inches, as AT&T's latest Windows phones, and they all run Windows Phone 7.5 Mango. It's the latest version of the operating system. It has cut and paste and new social networking features, all that kind of stuff. It's really a lovely operating system, and you probably noticed a lot of reviewers love Windows Phone, even though you're not seeing a lot of people use it yet. Still hope it catches on because it's a pleasure to use. But let's take a look at the hardware first. You have a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus display, really nice, bright, super duper Super AMOLED colors, and of course not a pentile matrix because it's the Plus version of Super AMOLED. And it's very thin, about 8.5 millimeters. If you take a look around the phone, you'll say, hey, that looks awful familiar if you follow phones much, because it's pretty much exactly like the Samsung Galaxy S2 Android phone on the outside. It's got the same kind of hard plastic frame here and the very thin patterned gray plastic back, 8 megapixel camera on the back. Typical of Samsung, you have your volume controls on this side, almost directly opposing the power button over here, so be careful if you squeeze one, you're going to squeeze the other. And a standard feature of Windows Phone 7, so you won't find on the Galaxy S2 running Android, is a dedicated camera button, two-stage camera button. Press halfway to focus, press all the way to take a picture, and if you want to launch the camera even when the phone is turned off, press and hold the camera button. Up top we have the 3.5 millimeter stereo headphone jack, and the micro USB port is down here. Front-facing 1.3 megapixel camera. In terms of video chat apps, not so much yet for Windows Phone. However, Microsoft did buy Skype, so expect it to come soon. You've got the standard capacitive Windows Phone buttons down here. This is basically your home button. Press this no matter where you are, and it'll take you back to this screen here. That's your back button, and that's your search button. And we've got the live tile interface, Metro UI as Microsoft calls it, and you can customize this just as you can with any Windows Phone. If you don't want one of these, press and hold, and you can remove it. And you can assign any other application that you want here as well, so it's pretty handy. And here's the Focus S on the right with its little brother here. This is the Focus Flash. The Focus Flash sells for $49. It has a smaller display, obviously, 3.7 inch, and it is Super AMOLED, not Super AMOLED Plus. It also has half the storage. But it's also a more pocketable phone, and at 49 bucks, boy, that's a really nice phone for the money. You can see the difference in the design here. It's thicker. It's actually a little bit heavier, though it's smaller too. And now we've got the Focus S on the right with the HTC HD7S, which was a Windows Phone 7.5 pre-Mango device. It's been updated to Mango, but you can see they both have 4.3-inch displays, but boy, the Samsung has a much brighter, more vivid display. This was not one of HTC's best efforts in terms of LCD. They're live tiles because they can actually inform you of stuff. Well, you can see the people tile dancing around. I don't have any contacts on this phone right now, but it would be flashing through various pictures of my friends and folks in my contacts. And we've got the messaging application for threaded messaging, and we have Hotmail right here, and it tells you how many, obviously, messages you've got, and that's what it looks like for messaging. Hotmail is pretty much a standard Hotmail interface, nicely done. We've got Xbox Live here for Xbox Live games. Internet Explorer 9, the mobile version. Sorry, no Adobe Flash here. Not a bad web browser, still lagging a little bit behind Android and iOS. We'll take a look at that in a bit. Your calendar here, if I had any appointments, it would show up listed over here. Pictures is an oversized live tile, and it flips through all the pictures I've taken. Music and videos is the Zune interface. Really nice. Nicest music player I've ever seen on a phone. Windows Marketplace. AT&T Navigators here. You also have Bing Maps and Local Scout, which is a pretty neat feature as well. So Local Scout can show you places to eat or drink. It gives you a listing there, a little map up top, and then things to see or do, also presented as tiles, which is kind of really neat looking. And then places you can go shopping as well. And then highlights about what's going on in your area. That's kind of neat. Microsoft did a very good job integrating Bing Maps and places and local information into Windows Phone 7.5. Also, standard for Windows Phone, you can customize the themes right here if you just go into Settings, and this is how you access all your applications, by the way. Go into Settings and change the theme, and you can have Choose your tile color right here. Say we want mango. And we want it on a white background. And it gives you a preview of what that would look like. The Focus S has a 1.4 gigahertz second generation Qualcomm Snapdragon CPU. That's a single core. Microsoft only supports single core CPUs because they found that they really didn't get much performance improvement going with the dual core CPU. And in the phone, you can see, is exceptionally fast and responsive. Can also handle Xbox games just fine. So that's fine. They figured that would make for less expensive phones potentially. Speaking of pricing, this came out at $199, but right now AT&T is selling for $99 with contract on their website, which is a pretty good deal. It's half the price of the Titan, and it is twice the price of the Focus Flash. Phone has 512 megs of RAM. Again, that's specified by Microsoft. They feel that's all it needs to do what it's doing, and it does a fine job of it. And it has 16 gigs of internal storage with about 14 gigs available. And typical for Windows Phone, you don't have a user-accessible micro SD card slot, so you cannot expand that further. The phone has GPS, Wi-Fi 802.11 BGN, and Bluetooth, and a 1650 milliamp battery. And the phone gets very good battery life. I have to say that's the second generation Qualcomm Snapdragon CPU is way more power efficient than the first gen that was used in the first Windows 7 phones before Mango came out. So this thing can easily make it through a full day even with heavy use, which is very nice. It has HSPA plus 14.4, so data speeds are pretty good on it. And sorry, no LTE here. Again, Microsoft's not supporting LTE yet. That's a bummer, but it's got the same data speeds as the iPhone 4S, then again, so we're not suffering too much. Since this is a Microsoft product, it supports MS Exchange with push feature on. That's pretty good. And it also supports Gmail, including syncing with Google Calendar, your Google email, your Google Contacts, and all that kind of thing. And it can pick up POP3 and IMAP email, so it works just fine with pretty much any email service that's around, and the Exchange is particularly handy for business users. It also has a mobile version of the MS Office suite for Word, Excel, and PowerPoint built in, since it's a Microsoft product after all. And a nice feature about Windows Phone is any carrier bloatware, you can actually uninstall it. So you can see we've got AT&T Family Map, AT&T My Wireless, AT&T, everything is on here. Say I don't want something, I don't want AT&T Radio. Just tap and hold and choose uninstall. And it's gone. Sweet. So let's take a look at the web browser. We've got IE9 Mobile here. And right now we're on the mobile YouTube site, so you can see Ellen making fun of Siri using the built-in YouTube player.
Introducing Siri, the most realistic assistant on the most incredible iPhone ever.
And you can hear the speaker, which is almost to max volume. It's very clear and full, but not super duper loud.
You've got a meeting at 4:30. How's the traffic going home? There's an accident on the 5. Hey, I just realized you sound.
That looks pretty good, and we're streaming this over AT&T's HSPA Plus network right now. So gone is the limitation where you got pretty low quality video with Windows Phone 7 before Mango came out, unless you had Wi-Fi turned on. Let's go to a regular website like ours, a non-mobile website, and see how it looks. Excellent on-screen keyboard. Windows is one of the best. So here we've loaded our website, Mobile Tech Review, and you can see you can use this in portrait and landscape mode, so the URL bar is down here, which is kind of intelligent, so you're not blocking the screen with your hand using the URL bar up top. And it scrolls smoothly and well. No flash ads, but I'm sure you're not going to miss those. The only thing I would say is that text doesn't look as really pretty and sharp as it might on Windows phones compared to Android and iOS. Could do a little work there. Right now this is fine to read, but just some bolded fonts sometimes look a little rough until you zoom in. And you can see how fluid the pinch zooming is, so it's a very capable web browser. JavaScript rendering, well, you know, not among the best. Microsoft still has a little work to do there. The SunSpider JavaScript test, this did about 6,200. The best Android phones and tablets do around low 2000s, and the iPhone's also doing much, much better than that. Still, the page load times aren't bad. For multimedia, we've also got AT&T Uverse Mobile on here. This isn't the newer Mobi TV type presentation they're using on Android phones. It's more like their old service where you pick a show and you download it after you've signed up for an account with them. And you can play other things like Netflix has always been available on Windows Phone. We'll check that out. 4.3-inch Super AMOLED Plus display makes for a lovely Netflix experience. So we're in Netflix and we're looking at the genre listing and we'll just pick comedies. And there we go, a bunch of comedies. And we'll just pick something to test it out. So we've started the movie and we can scrub through. This is pretty neat right here. This is a lot like iOS, where you get the frame view when you're scrubbing through. And it's going to take a little while for it to buffer up before we get sharp video. Alright, now we've buffered up and it's looking good. It's looking sharp. It's certainly nice on a 4.3-inch screen with these nice colors. So you've got Netflix. And next we'll take a look at Xbox Live. One nice thing about the Windows Marketplace and Xbox Live is you can try anything you want before you buy it, so you don't have to see and, oh gee, that really stank, wish I hadn't paid for it kind of thing. So we've got a couple of things that we've loaded here as trial versions. We'll check out Connectimals. Ever so popular on the Xbox itself. Really good graphics. And the speaker actually sounds quite nice in this too. And here we go, we have direct contact here. It's actually a little bit better than using Connectimals on the Xbox 360. And then you have options here including transferring it to your Xbox 360, leaderboard, and a bunch of other stuff, so that's pretty cool. So there's a pretty nice selection of Xbox Live games available, and then you've got your avatar here that you can customize completely in terms of look. You can find friends to play with, message with them, and then they have various deals of the week and featured games, and you can see, get more games. Pretty good selections available. So we take a look just at action and adventure. You can see there's quite a lot of nice titles here. And some of the standard ones like Fruit Ninja and Angry Birds for simple style games that are casual. So good fun there. The marketplace itself has about 40,000 apps, and given how young this ecosystem is, that's not bad. And you'll find pretty much all of the standard staples, obviously, like Netflix, you've got the Weather Channel, IMDb, all that kind of stuff. And the manufacturer can offer their own stuff, so you can see what Samsung offers. They got a news application here, RSS reader, photo editor, mini diary, which those of you who use Android will be familiar with, a little diary and note-taking application, photo sharing, and all sorts of stuff like that. And so we just want to look at apps. And then there's a featured app, which is Shazam, and then it's all broken into categories here. So let's take a look at music and video and see what there is. Various third-party YouTube players. Shazam, we have Spotify, we've got a BBC radio player, all sorts of stuff that's there. And now you can see that we can scroll through the top most popular stuff, and we can switch over sideways style. That's the typical Metro UI, just look at free things or new things, and by category. So you got AccuWeather, Weather.com, WeatherBug, USA Today, Pulse, really nice news reader. It's popular on Android as well. And gadget applications, CNN, all sorts of stuff. The phone interface on this is kind of what I would call big and bold right here, just huge number pad. You can also access your call history from the dialer and your contacts pretty quickly and easily as well. So that works well. Reception on this is quite good. You can see we've got full bars right here, and phones tend to range between 1 bar short of full and full bars. And call quality on this is really excellent. It's right up there with the Samsung Galaxy S2 for very good call quality for incoming and outgoing voice. Speakerphone you heard, it's very natural, nice and full. It's not the super loudest thing we've ever heard, but it certainly works well for calls. And of course this works with Bluetooth headsets and car kits as well, and it has Bluetooth 3.0. Data speeds on HSPA plus 14.4 have ranged between 3 and 6 megs down, which is about typical for that network, and 1.5 to 1 meg for upload speeds. And the phone also has internet connection sharing, and that's available in settings, and you can use up to 5 clients with the phone, though you probably don't want to fractionate your connection speeds that much with 5 clients simultaneously, but just using this for your laptop or your tablet, definitely pretty good connection speeds. So that's the Samsung Focus S. It's available now on AT&T, and they're currently selling for $99 with contract, which is pretty much a good deal for a phone like this, and it's $549 if you want to buy it without a contract. Runs the latest Mango operating system. It's very fast, very fluid, very easy to use. If you find Android intimidating or too complex to use, this has kind of got more similarities to iOS and the iPhone in terms of having a very directed user interface that's pleasant to use. Of course, like the iPhone, you also can't hack the UI a lot and change it. You're going to have this Metro user interface. You can change the tiles that are here, but you can't do any kind of deeper customization. In my opinion, that's not a bad thing because it is a lovely UI and it's pretty expedient and fun to use. I'm Lisa from Mobile Tech Review. Be sure to visit our website to read the full review of the Samsung Focus S, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.